Well, my birthday was yesterday. I ate with my boys in Oxford last night.
Should have had a cake for you.
57. I don't know. This place makes you get about 98. Let's see. What do we
Talked to
have?
your buddy last night for a while. You're right. We have to have lunch with you one day next week.
We have a quorum called management committee meetings to order. Look at the agenda. Does everyone have a chance to review and send the minutes? Okay. The board previously has been sent to each member. Any questions on May 12th? No. Minutes.
Speaker, I would move that the minutes be adopted.
Is there a second? Second, Fidel. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Minutes are approved. Travel request, none of that. Okay, this one. Today, we go to travel request, May 13th through November 16th. First two have already administratively approved. There's a copy of the letters. What is it? This one, these two. From the members requesting.
Mr. Speaker, we would like to withdraw number 3.
Okay, that's your, so you're withdrawing?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Any questions on 1 and 2?
Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
Second.
Any questions? Adoption, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Travel requests are approved, those two. I'm sure most of you know that we are hosting SOC 2013.
Well, are you asking me?
It really takes over.
Well, the way that we're not officially hosting it yet. We're in line to host it if we
Okay.
choose to do that. And that's usually, there's a, I think the thought is wait for the new lieutenant governor and the new speaker to get together and make that request. And I think if they made a formal request, then I think sure we would be in line to host it.
Okay.
So that's the reason nothing's been done already yet.
All right, good. Any other business for me?
Mr. Speaker, we had a personnel matter. Did we ever address the vacancy downstairs at the in the accounting office?
We got resumes, but no action was taken.
Where are we on that?
Well, we have, there's been a little bit of miscommunication. We've had a temporary lady, we've had an additional person down there, a former DFA accountant for quite some time, Regina Rayner.
Okay.
We've not filled that position on a full-time basis because, frankly, I don't know that has a higher priority than the other 8 full-time vacancies that we have here. Until somebody tells me how we're going to pay for those positions, I'm not recommending we fill them. That's just my opinion.
So you're not recommending that we fill the position for the attorney that's open?
You've got to tell me where we're going to get the money. At some point, we had a tremendous cut. We got cut $740,000. And the way we cut that is either we don't fill positions or we restrict voucher days. And that's really our choice. We don't pay utilities, we don't pay rent, we don't have anything else we can cut. And so, fortune of the venue, to her credit, Teresa to her credit, Francis in the Speaker's office, on and on and on, have been able to carry on. And at some point, my opinion is you're going to have more of an appropriation, or you're not going to be able to fill those positions.
Well, this is just half the year. The next half the year is coming.
Right.
And those that come should have half the money, at least.
Well, we don't let the next administration, next management committee make that decision.
I just want to know from Don, how much are we behind right now?
We're not behind. As far as staying within our budget, we're within our budget. We're within our budget that we have to operate with. But if I had to go out and fill all those full-time positions, it would cost me several $100,000.
Oh,
Sure. And then when it came to January, February, somebody had to make some hard decisions. I could fill them and pay them, but unless there was a deficit appropriation, unless we, and I don't know, in talking to, the other people, I don't know where else we would cut. I could cut some other employees, but if I cut all the porters and all the security, some of the committee assistants, that wouldn't give me any money because they don't make any money. And that's my problem is somewhere, like Mr. Speaker said, somebody needs to make the decision of a priority on filling some of those positions. Like we do have a vacant attorney's position. And Teresa, to her credit, has been able to get by with a part-time person. We're getting by with a part-time person down in the county. And other places, we're just hanging on. And,
JP, can I say something?
okay.
Yes, sir.
We, Speaker Compretta, Mr. Clerk, and myself have run the most frugal administrative budget in America for the Speaker's office and Pro Tem's office and the Clerk's office and the whole staff. It is to the point that the members are not able to serve their constituents as they should because of the budget. We're about to have a new group come, and I hope they'll take a look at this because I don't care whether you're Republican or Democrat, you need a staff that will allow you to represent the state as you should, and this body to operate as it should as one of the two equal bodies of the legislative branch. Right now, our budget is calling us to really not do what we should do. But we'll have a new administration here in the House, and I would encourage them to take a look at this budget because it's not adequate at the present time. But we've been as frugal. I hear this word conservative. There's no more conservative operation in America than what this management committee is operating right now. And I commend you for doing that because we are not trying to be apart from the other agencies. We've taken the same licks that they have, and you're able to see that today. It's been tough. But I would encourage you to increase this budget during the next 4 years. You owe that to the members as they try to represent their people as they should. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Of course, you made that comment before, but it's falling on some deaf ears among members. Ms. Warren?
Mr. Pro Tem and Mr. Speaker, I respectfully have to ask some questions about some of the people hired in the clerk's office. I'd like to know why we need as many part-time people. It was my feeling that, and I think the statement had been made earlier, that we have been able to operate the clerk's office with 3 people, 3 assistants when we're off season, when we're not in session. And I just am very curious about why we are so top-heavy in the clerk's office. It may not be much money to you all, but every little penny, every little dollar counts.
I mean, since I've been here, we've always had 4 full-time positions in the clerk's office, and we've had a temporary person that fills part of this. Like, for example, we rotate among about 4 temporary employees that are in session on. We call session on. And I can give you the names if you like. But what they do in the morning, they come around and first deliver the mail. We don't have a mail carrier. We don't have anybody in that position. That's what they do. And then when we have somebody out of the clerk's office, at any given time, for example, yesterday afternoon, and they work, usually if we need them, they'll stay on till lunch. So they'll come in at about 10:30, they finish with the mail responsibility, and that person stays on till lunch, and then they're gone. But
Well, out of session.
that's what I mean, out of session.
Out of session.
I mean, like yesterday, for example,
Right.
if you came by the clerk's office yesterday afternoon, the only 2 people in the office were Gloria and I. I mean, you have people who take vacation days, they're sick, they're not here. And we have one person in the clerk's office whose primary work, frankly, is the speaker office responsibility. They do a lot of things like committee appointments, those type of things that go on year-round, but they just have a desk in the clerk's office.
Do we approve all of the part-time?
No, ma'am. The policy has always been, for example, I'm the bad guy because I've not filled some of these full-time positions. But the policy is you don't fill those positions unless the clerk recommends to management in person. Then you have a choice to approve them or deny them. But if I don't give you that, you don't do it. Temporary, and same thing, if I decided to terminate Janetta out there, I could terminate her. You can call a management meeting and get me to rescind, or you can terminate me. But the protection is The clerk can only be terminated by the House of Representatives when they're in session. So that gives you some protection from somebody, from a management committee or a clerk yielding to political pressure, as you can see. So that's the system that's set up now. And as far as temporary people, their decisions have to be made, ad hoc. You may need somebody. There have been days in the clerk's office when I've had 2 people that already got their earned vacation days that are not going to be here, and somebody calls in sick, and somebody's in traffic, and you have to have somebody to answer the phone. You have to have somebody come in and work. And it's the same thing with the speaker has one person in his office. When Frances occasionally wants a day off, when she does, that temporary person goes over there and answers the phone. And they sit there and do that. I need more than one. But I've tried to have one of the young ladies, either Angela or Michelle or Linda or Ayana, some of these people that have been here, and they kind of take turns. And when I need them, they'll come in and work sometimes 2 or 3 days a week sometimes. If I don't need them, if I've got all 4 people in the clerk's office, they don't come in at all. And I'll have one of the people in the clerk's office go down and deliver the mail. Usually Coetta will go down and deliver the mail. And that's not her responsibility, that's a joint responsibility. The Senate does the same thing. So we just give out this way we can. But that's my answer, if that helps you.
Do they have as many in the Senate part-time
The
assistants?
Senate has 3 times as many as we do. They've always had.
Out of session.
The Senate has 9 people in their clerk's office. They have 5 in the lieutenant governor's office. We have 1. They have more staff people than we do.
Well, I've given that information to the members here many, many times, how many more people are employed in the Senate than they are in the House. But again,
Well, I've seen that information too. Of course, they have, half as many members.
so they should have as many staff.
That means they need so many more.
But yeah, Pacific has the problem. Rita, there's a good chance.
Right.
There's a chance, possibly. I don't know, Steve, temporary people, I don't know, they may not have this. We have one that rotates. We have one position that rotates constantly. Like I said, we're among 4 or 5 different people. They've got somebody that does the same thing that goes and delivers the mail. It's a full-time position. She's a nice, sweet lady. I like her. I don't know what she does. She just sits out in the hall the rest of the time. But we don't do that here. We don't play vacation.
It's been my privilege to be speaker for 8 years. One of the things that I do is I travel about the meetings. I take the time to visit other capitals. Only a few days ago, I was in Washington. Went down to Olympia and visited the capital there. Their speaker is a very frugal person. He's almost like a hippie. He don't have a single picture on the wall. It's just a bare bone place you've ever seen. But guess what? He's got a lawyer that sits right next to him in a little office, Teresa. No place you go where you find as frugally run operation as we've got here. I don't care where you go. If you want to cut some more, you can. But I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. The members deserve a decent staff, quality and quantity to represent the people as they should, and to compete as a third and equal branch of government. So I'm not a bit ashamed of what we've done. I wish we hadn't had to cut this much, but we have.
Is there further discussion of the other business? Okay, may or may not have another meeting for the end of the year. If we do, we'll let you know. But motion is to adjourn. Thank y'all. You don't want to leave
What did they say?
What's the deadline I'm looking at? Cuts are in there. And it's one of those things we're going to have to go through, whether we like it or not. Whether we're frugal right now or not.
Well, let's don't spend any more money, Don. Let's don't spend anything on anything. And I'm going to be watching to make sure that you don't spend any money on anything. Anything. And I'm going to be mighty upset.
Preserve members.
Put it there every day. Our folks, the first impression. I'm not disputing that.
I know, and I'm not trying to tell that to you about it.
I know,
Just do the best we can.
Ray, what's going on, my brother?
Thanks, Willie. How are you?
All right.